What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Diesel Creek. If this is your first time joining us, my name's Matt. Let me get straight to the root of our problem today. See what I did there? We have been experiencing a ton of rain here for August in western Pennsylvania this year, and consequently, the farm is closer resembling a swamp right now. And I've been having trees uproot left and right out here, and I've probably got 10 or 12 trees, maybe more, that have uprooted, snapped off, whatever, because we have had some significant storms come through with all this rain. So I can't even get out of my driveway right now, or in rather. I got this big poplar tree here that fell down across the driveway, as well as several more. There's one back behind my truck there that I already cut up enough just to get through, because I was actually out here the other day as the storm hit, and I got soaked. Packed up everything real quick and went to leave, and there was a tree across the driveway and I couldn't even leave until I cut it up. So yeah, it was a good day. But anyway, let's get some of these trees cleaned up. Gonna bust out my favorite chainsaw for this. This is not my biggest chainsaw, but it is my favorite. This is a Steel 044 that I actually found in a scrap pile some years ago. And the cool thing about this saw, I don't know if it's really a cool thing, but the economical thing about this saw, when I found that it was blown up, it had no compression left, and it just would not run. Didn't have enough compression to run. And I took it to the steel dealer local to me and told him I wanted a top end kit for it. Whoa. And they said, all right, we'll sell them to you if that's what you want to do. But the guy said, to be completely honest, those eBay long blocks that you can go on there and buy, they're Chinesium long blocks of some sort. You get like the entire engine. All you have to do is basically unbolt your plastics and your clutches and your fuel tank and bolt it onto the new engine. And I think it was like $89, and just the top end kit from Steel was gonna be like $150. So I took a gamble because it, you know, you can get into a nicer saw like this a lot cheaper if you find something like that. And I did, and this thing has performed flawlessly since I've fixed it, and I've run it quite a bit. Like I said, it is my favorite saw, other than it just not saying Steel on it. When I was putting the parts together, you really couldn't tell any difference between this and the OEM. So I was very happy. Looks like a Steel, runs like a Steel, must be a Steel. Look at this tree, had an ant infestation. Just pouring out of there. I hate ants. I hate ants. Well, we got the first tree all cut up here. I want to go grab my skid steer and my root grapple, and we'll pick these sections up and get them out of the way here. But I can't even get the skid steer out yet. I'll show you why. So I got two trees here. I'm guessing chain of events happened that this one snapped off first and fell and landed on top of my brush cutter. And I have the engine cover, or not engine, the motor drive cover off of it. And it, you know, smashed it up pretty good. It's pretty well bent and mangled, but I think I can straighten it. But anyways, it fell down, hit another tree over here, knocked it down. And both of those fell a little bit too close for comfort there next to my building. So I had actually marked out some trees here a couple weeks ago. I don't know if you can see the pink ribbons on those trees and these couple here. And those trees were going to be the back, my do not cut line. And this cluster of trees here was actually already planned on being taken out. And I would have rather controlled their removal, but luckily nothing happened to the building. But we're going to go ahead and remove the dead ones that fell down here first. Anyway, I can't even get the skid steer out of there right now. I mean, I probably could, but I'll just cut this up a little bit first. Yeah, I guess the old brush cutter didn't really fare too bad for taking a direct hit. The Chinesium's a little bent up on it, but yeah, a couple minutes with a 5-pound body alignment tool, we'll have her good as new. I'm getting quite the pile of logs already, and I don't even think we're halfway done.
Well, that's another tree completely cleaned up here. Like I said at the beginning of the video, it's literally rained for like 5 days straight here. And I mean like all day rains too, not just like a shower every day. I mean, it's a mud hole mess, but got to get it cleaned up sooner or later. Still supposed to rain today, later. Well, this is the last one along the driveway that we have to cut up. A little more dangerous because it's not all the way on the ground. You just got to be careful when you start cutting into these things. It's convenient in one hand that it's up off the ground. You don't have to worry about digging into the ground with your bar. But you just got to watch the way it's wedged into the trees up there, because if you're standing in the wrong place, I mean, this one might not have any stress on it, but you know, sometimes if you start cutting it, all of a sudden the part you're cutting wants to kick towards you or something. That could be bad. So looks like I'm gonna be safe standing on this side of the tree, since we have that tree kind of supporting it, and our biggest concern probably is just going to be not getting the bar stuck. But I think we're going to be all right. Alright, this tree is a nice big silver maple. You can see it was pretty much hollowed out there. It actually snapped off and fell, blocking my little tractor road here maybe a month or so ago. So while I'm out here with the chainsaw, we'll just get this cleaned up too. Alright, the last one we got to clean up today is a lot more of a mess than the other ones. This piece here is actually just a really big limb off of this tree. Way up there you can see it snapped off. It fell over here and did heavy damage to this tree. The trunk is split down here. So we're going to whack up this tree, and then we'll have to drop over that piece that's leaning there, because it's just going to end up falling anyways. No sense in letting it be a danger to me walking around here out in the woods, I guess. I'll forget about it. So we'll get it down and get it cleaned up. This piece of land here I have not yet started to thin, but it is on the list of things I'd like to do. So we don't have to worry about pushing the limbs all off or anything. I'll just get the big logs out of here and shove everything else up in a pile, and we'll be done. killed the bobcat with a brush hog. Of course, made quick work of that. If you guys got land and you're trying to maintain property like this, I mean, you can do a lot of this stuff with a tractor or without any equipment at all, but that right there saves a ton of time. And I'm not just talking about the attachment, just having a bobcat or a skid steer or whatever. They're a big investment, but man, they pay for themselves easily. But anyway, this tree, while it is leaning and I'm not certain that it's going to live, I am deciding that I'm going to let it stay for right now. I just have so much firewood on the ground that I'm afraid it's going to start to rot before I even get to it. So I'm going to try to let this thing stand as long as possible, because as long as it's standing, it's not even dead. I think it's going to live. And B, it won't rot while it's standing, at least not nearly as quickly. So I'm going to let it go. You can see the split down here. It is split down to the root, but it's not all the way into the heartwood. This is sapwood out here at the edge. This smaller guy behind it here, maybe a 5-6 inch. It looks like it's pulled away from the base tree pretty good there. Not sure if it's broken off or not. It doesn't appear to be supported by anything, so I guess it's still holding on. But this isn't like an area I like work in or something. If it was in an area that I frequently was underneath of it, I would definitely drop it. But as you can tell, I don't spend any time over here. So I'll let it go for right now. I need a track machine. Well, we got all these trees cleaned up that were blocking the roadways and stuff. There's a bunch of them that are back in the woods in places that aren't really bothering me, that I'm not going to mess with right now. Got too much other stuff to do, but yeah, it's always something. I tried to slick this off, you know, with that machine as best I can, but everything is just so stinking wet right now that it's got to dry before you're ever going to get it to look decent. Or get a track machine, because a track machine would definitely do a better job. I mean, it was still not going to make it a finish grade when it's this wet, but it would make it look a lot better. Anyways, guys, I guess that wraps up today's video. I know it really wasn't any crazy exciting feature, but the show must go on. There's always something I'm working on. A lot of you guys have told me that you'd watch anything I post, so I guess this is your chance to prove it. If you like the video, as always, help me out. Hit the thumbs up button down there. It doesn't cost you nothing. And if you haven't already, be sure you're subscribed. And I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Later.